Okay, hello guys. Today will be not a usual stream. I actually wanted to play for you as usual, but I had the problems with my piano and my pedal. I can't use it. I have no idea why. Maybe it is too hot today. I think we have above 30 degrees above the zero in Stuttgart, and my instrument is tight. But I thought that I have time today and we could use this possibility just to speak. So, what do you play today? Nothing. I'm sorry. But we can speak. I have some questions for you, and you can ask me anything. I will try to answer. I'm also glad to see you all. Okay, so my first question to you is, do you like my videos? I don't ask for a compliment. Actually, your opinion is really important for me, and I think a lot how to improve the videos that I'm making. So when you have any ideas and you wanted to express them, you didn't know where you can write me and reach me, you can write it now, and I am reading now everything that you are writing because I'm not playing. I have enough time. So, thank you. I'm very pleased that you of course I understand that you are here because you find them good, maybe. But you have also space to be better. I understand it. Okay. The German accent. I have not German accent. Although I speak German also, and sometimes I have two languages messed up in my head, and I use the German words instead of English words. But I'm from Ukraine, so my accent is Slavianish. Okay, I'm glad that you like how I'm playing. Next time, I'm sure we will manage it. What writing the people in TikTok? How many years have you been playing the piano? Okay, that's a very popular question. I answered it maybe 100 times or more. So I'm 24 now, and I started when I was 5. My mother was my first teacher. She is also a pianist, and by the way, my grandmother was also a pianist, and my grandfather was a violinist. So I am a musician in the 4th generation. And my mother just asked me whether I wanted to play piano. I remember this question, and I said yes, but actually I didn't think a lot about this answer. I didn't know what is it. I just wanted to spend maybe some time with my mother. And since that, I'm playing the piano, so 19 years old already. I'm glad to see that you're writing from America, from different countries. That is so impressed for me that people around the world are watching me. Okay, a lot of people want to hear Rush E. I will play it next time, I promise it. So I'm waiting for your interesting questions. I can tell you something about my life when you are interested, about my previous life, about my studying piano, about musicians, pianists. What do you want to know? what was one of the hardest songs you first learned to play? Do you mean that is the question from Scruffy from the YouTube? What do you mean the hardest things in general in my career? Maybe it was Mephisto Vals by Liszt. I playing it now, and the Liszt pieces are in general rather difficult because he was one of the first composers who wanted to be also the great pianist, and he discovered a lot about piano. In his time, the piano was born, when I can say like that, because earlier it was just maybe the early version of the piano, and there was not so many. There were not so many possibilities, and Liszt wanted to discover what you can in general do with this instrument. So his music is rather difficult, and Mephisto Vals is considered to be one of the difficultest pieces for pianist, and it is challenging for me. I think I will play it sometimes, and I really love this piece. Change the background. What else do you want to do with it? Okay, I'm glad that you noticed it. Yes, I have the beautiful view from my windows, and I wanted to show it to you also. I see that I have a lot of space also here, so maybe some things I will place here, some things which are connected with my life, but I hadn't decided yet. Maybe you have ideas. What do you think about my background? So I have now my YouTube button here and my pillow, avocado. Okay, and these flowers I got from my last concert in Stuttgart. It is very pleasant when I have such presents. Okay. My keyboard is not working right now, so I want to say it just again why today I'm speaking and not playing, because I planned this stream for today, but my piano, I don't know what has happened, but my pedal doesn't work, so I can't use my piano, and I decided just to speak and to be a little bit more near to you, because I understand that sometimes the musicians are in such a world for themselves, and we don't understand what the other people think about music, because for us a lot of things seem to be very simple and general, and so. How do you learn English? Okay, with English I have the interesting story. My father is English teacher, so he is in general maths teacher and physics teacher, but he gives also private English lessons, and my parents were young when I was born, and my father wanted to do an experiment, and he spoke with me till I was 6 only in English. I think it was interesting experience, although I don't remember a lot about this. My father just says that I couldn't answer in English, but I could understand everything. For example, when he said, bring please an apple, I went and brought this apple. So my parents wanted me to be bilingual, and then I had some problems with my speech, so I stammered a little. I'm not sure how it is right to say, so I couldn't speak smoothly, and my parents didn't know where is this problem, and they thought maybe because of 2 languages, and my father stopped. Then we had, I don't know, my father played with me a lot, and we learned English in games, then I read a lot also in English. It was interesting for me. So that's about my English. Is your teacher English or German? Okay, my teacher is from Ukraine, so not English and not German. But I prefer when you learn the foreign language, I think you should have a teacher with your mother language. It is better for you. Although we are speaking only English at our lessons, so I don't know. I have a question. I hope. At what age did you start making videos on YouTube? It was 1.5 years ago, so I was 23, not so far ago. I made some videos before also, but they were very occasional. I didn't like the result and I didn't want to post them. But then I decided that I will make not maybe perfect videos, but I will experiment and improve them. And it is maybe also interesting to observe the way of the person, and you can see and compare my previous videos with the videos which I'm making now. I think they are really better. What's your favorite kind of flowers? Okay, I like the flowers in the so not actually like I have there the dead flowers, but which are growing. I love very much cactuses, and I'm fond of nature, and I would like to see the flowers that are growing. So yes, it's like that. What do you like about Germany? About Germany. Okay, it was actually my dream. I thought a lot about living in the country. I liked learning foreign languages all my life, maybe because of father, because he always taught about this as if it were a game, and it was really interesting to learn languages, and it was interesting for me to live among the people that are speaking this language, to learn these little things, how you can speak, what things you can use, what things you... Because in vocabulary you can see one things, and actually the people are using another things. And it is interesting for me just to learn the other culture of the other land. I like that Germans are very careful with nature. I told you that it is a very important topic for me, and they are thinking about plastic, not to use it a lot, about vegan food, about not using too much of electricity, water, and so on. But at the same time, they can use a lot of paper for packing such a little thing. And or, for example, give you such, I don't know, a keep of paper documents which you actually don't need, and they are wondering themselves why they are doing so. And they use, till now, I don't know, in Ukraine, for example, we have the e-letters much more than just paper letters, and here in Germany you receive every day about every little thing this paper letter, and I think it is just wasting of paper. So, but in general they are very thoughtful about these things, and I like that. I can imagine life in a different country is better than life in USA. And why do you think so? Because actually for me, I think that it is always interesting to use to visit foreign country, and it isn't so important which country. You can just come and live and make your own expression, and then you are free to live and to go to other country. But just learn the other culture is really interesting. So for me, it would be interesting to live for a while in USA also. Would love to see a future videos of you playing the well-tempered clavier. I'm so glad to hear it. I'm actually thinking that, so I made one video from well-tempered clavier. It was Prelude and Fugue in Gis minor, the first band, and I really love playing and learning, practicing the Bach's music, because it is just like solving some maths thing. You know, it is very clever music, and then some people think that music is just imagination or something not earthly, and then when you are studying Bach's pieces, you see that no, the very certain rules there are, and it isn't just something random, you know. So, and this music has such a depth. You can study one piece for a while and then return to it and practice it once more and see the other things. So, and now the question why I'm not making steadily these videos, actually because I thought that it could be not so interesting for lots of people, so I mix my videos with some trends from internet, and for me it is also very interesting because I was brought up in the world of classical music. I know a lot of classical pieces, but I have no idea sometimes about very popular trends, and my friends are laughing sometimes at me because it seems that I don't know very obvious things. So we could exchange our experience. I will tell you a little about classical pieces, and I will learn internet music, pop music, and also learn about it. What is your favorite music? It is a difficult question because I know that many people have the music that they prefer, and they have list, for example, music that they hear or playing. But I'm a professional musician, and we just must learn different styles. And when you don't want to learn different styles, then you're just very one-sided, and you can't even play one style very good. So you should learn a lot of music. So I can't say that I prefer something very, very much, because I love classical music in general, and I try to find in every piece something interesting, and I think I manage it, because in each piece it is possible to find something interesting. Okay, I just wanted to see what in TikTok, because I'm answering on the question from YouTube. And when you didn't know, I'm always streaming on 4 platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Yes, I have Twitch, although not a lot of people are there yet, but I think we can manage a very good quality there. So sometimes I have problems with sound somewhere, and people can't hear in TikTok, for example, or in Instagram. I have stereo problems. So you have always this option to come to another platform and hear from there. Troy Makire, can you come to my events in New Zealand? Yes, I can come to New Zealand because it is my dream. I wanted to visit New Zealand just because it is another side of boat, and I'm very interested in nature, and I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings, and I wanted to visit this place where this movie was made. So I promise you that one day I will come to New Zealand. What's your favorite genre of classical music? I told just about that I don't have a favorite music. I love in general classical music. And maybe there are some genres that I can better because of, for example, my technique. My technique is better with little things such as passages, not octaves or chords. And so some classical pieces as sonatas by Mozart, Haydn, Scarlatti. I love Scarlatti very much. I think I just can play them good, and every time when I'm choosing a program, because here in Germany, I'm currently studying in Germany, we have such a freedom of choosing what we can play. Earlier I studied in Moscow and in Ukraine, and we had the program of the pieces that we just had to do. I'm sorry for the exams, and we couldn't choose. And there are some pluses of such way of education, because then you will certainly learn a lot of music. But on the other side, you can't develop yourself as personality, and I came here and I just couldn't understand the first time that I can actually choose what I can play. Now I have another problem, because I can choose, and I'm choosing the pieces that I know I can do certainly good, and it is classics and Chopin pieces, and Liszt. I love Liszt very much. I think I should play more some 20th century Prokofiev, for example, Scriabin or Rachmaninoff or such things, or big pieces of Bach. They are very difficult. So what are the hobbies, things you enjoy doing when you're not playing the piano? Okay, I like hiking very much. It was also the thing that my dad gave me, because he went hiking a lot when he was young. And he always said that he thought that the most valued, the thing that you can value in your life is your experience. So he wanted us to spend our holidays always somewhere in nature. We visited mountains a lot, and we went hiking, and it is really my hobby. My brother is now also doing that. Sometimes I'm going with his company, and that's really a very interesting experience. You feel yourself not as at home, because just the environment is very different. You should think about your food and very simple things. You just start to value them. Just watch the laughing people, and I don't know, the conversations with people are very different. You are laughing a lot, and I just like this type of spending holidays because you change your environment and then you really have a lot of new thoughts and so on. I mean that compared to living somewhere in hotel, it is just almost the same as if you were at home. I mean just that. And I really love nature. Sometimes I'm speaking to, not now, but earlier I spoke to the plants and I am very excited of these views in the mountains. It's very beautiful, and especially in the high mountains. For example, I climbed previous summer. I climbed the 5,000 meter hoch. Sorry, it is German word. High mountain. It was in Georgia, and it was very interesting experience for me. So that was about one hobby. Then I like learning foreign languages, as you noticed. I can also speak German rather good, and it is still interesting for me to learn it more. I don't know, something special. I'm making such usual things that spending my time with friends, cooking meals. I like that also. Doing sports. I think nothing more unusual. Okay, I spoke a lot and I had no time to read. I will take a few moments to read your comments. January had needed the question, do you belong to orchestra? No, I don't belong to orchestra because pianists actually don't belong to orchestra, and I thought about it that other musicians, string instruments, for example, they all have this experience of playing in big ensembles, and we pianists we don't have this possibility. Sometimes we are playing as solists, but piano isn't a part of orchestra. And playing as solist is also not the same thing as playing in orchestra as a part of this orchestra. That's why here in Stuttgart we have the subject that we must visit. It is core, and it is for all types of musicians, for pianists also. And it is just a good format because some students that are conducting, they have their lessons and they have this possibility to practice with the real core, because in Ukraine, for example, I studied, and these students conductor, they had this possibility only for the last exam. And here in Germany, they can practice steadily. And for us, it was also very great. I really loved this thing, and we had the concert, a lot of people and orchestra and conductor, and you can just feel yourself a part of such big thing. It was very unusual for me because I also practice alone as other pianists also, and it is rather rare that you have this you can play with orchestra as solist, of course, because there are a lot of pianists. Maybe it is one of the most popular instruments. So yeah, I think, and we have also Kammermusik. It is also German. Okay, chamber music. It's when piano is playing with the cello or violin, for example. And this ensemble can be also, for example, two violinists, alt and cello, and piano. That's 5 instruments. It is also very great. I try to use such possibilities when I have them. Yes, my piano is broken today, but I thought that we could a little speak. Do you play other musical instruments? Very flattery. Okay, I play some keyboard instruments, so I play organ. Just for myself, maybe I had this subject in my college for a year, but then I came to a conclusion that it is really different. The instrument has also the keyboard, and it looks like very as if it were just the same, but no, it isn't the same. You should practice your hand, your muscles, very different. So it was interesting, but I know some people that combining and that are playing professionally both instruments, but I thought that I will make the accent on one, and I chose piano. Piano is my love. And then I play some other keyboard instruments. Now I have a subject in my university, the old keyboard instruments, such cembalo or hammerklavier. I don't know in English. Harpsichord. Harpsichord, yes, it's an English word. That is very interesting. You can sometimes we are playing music from the composers that lived in 17th century, for example, and we just have no idea how they themselves they heard their music, because they had such a different instruments. And as I tried to play it, I really understood that, for example, you can't develop physically the speed that you can develop now at the modern pianos. And that's why you shouldn't just, when you want to be very authentical, you shouldn't play them too fast. That is just a simple example, but in general you can understand this mechanic. It is also very different. The weight of the keys is twice less as by the piano, and I also understand that you should make accent, and you should learn piano or these old instruments. But just for entertainment, and now I have the subject, of course, but for entertainment, I play sometimes. Okay, here, Edgar Comas, I'm sorry when I spelled not right. You're writing in Spanish, I think, because gracias. But I can't Spanish. I'm sorry. But actually, I had the idea starting learning Spanish because I thought that I'm fond of learning foreign languages, and my second foreign language will be Spanish. I have already made this decision, but not yet. You should translate in English. Can you play the first ballad of Chopin, please? Yes, I can play it, but not today because my piano is broken. But I played it, and not once. I played it maybe 4 years for the first time, and then I revised it. Great music, I love it. So I will play it next time. can you teach us daily exercises to play? Fatima Al Husseini from TikTok. Yes, I could show something, although I have to be honest. I'm not such a pianist that makes them regularly. Usually I practice on my repertoire because I have always a lot of things that I want to learn, and maybe it is I had the idea earlier to learn, for example, the all etudes of Czerny. It is the very famous composer that composed more than 1,000 etudes for piano, and of course I understand when I would do that I would play much better, but it is more interesting for me to improve my technique, maybe with Chopin's etudes and so on, and just to learn new music. And sometimes you can invent the exercises when you have the difficult places. You can just think how you can manage it, and then you are inventing the exercises just on this place. Then, it is just a boring process. Sometimes when you are practicing, we should practice really every day, and when you don't do it, then you just don't have the results that you want. So I have practiced the whole my life, so it isn't a problem for me. Although my mom didn't tell me that I'm going not to have the weekend when I want to be a pianist. So I just wanted to say that when you have to practice every day, you should think about that the process is also interesting for you. That's why I know that it is more interesting for me to learn the new things, and I try to combine it with my technique, of course. So that's the thing. But I could, of course, show you some exercises for the beginners also, for different levels. Do you like the style of Jan Tiersen? Genuine heart. Okay. I like some of his pieces. Amelie, for example, I am playing stereo on my streams. I can't say that I am very excited of him because in general, when you compare the modern music with the classical music, in Audi, for example, his pieces are really great, and sometimes the people are liking them. Actually, very often after my concerts, I'm asking, what did you like the most, more than other? And the people answer in Audi, not with his Waltz playlist or a piece that I learned for 100 years. No, they like this neoclassical modern music. So I want to say that for me, I played a lot of classical music, and it is more difficult here, and it is interesting for me to look to study the harmonies, to really to play something difficult. I know it can sound strange, and for myself, I can also play modern music, and for you, of course. Well, you don't answer my comment. How long have you been playing, and what age? I don't answer because I answered it at the starting of my stream, but I will say it once again. I started when I was 5. Now I'm 24, and so I played for 19 years. Okay, Barry he writes about playing flute and piano. I am actually, yes, I told about two instruments, but I am actually have such an honor to the people who are combining. I know some people who are combining, and I told that it was difficult for me to combine organ and piano, although the both instruments have the same keyboard, and it was difficult for me. And flute and piano are very different instruments, so I really appreciate what do you do. It's really great. And I thought about learning the other instrument because just for myself, because sometimes the teachers, they want to explain something and they use the things such as play this place as if you played it on cello or flute or some other instrument, and you have no idea how you play on cello when you didn't play it. If you didn't play it in your life. By the way, I have a friend. She is a cellist, and I asked her to give me that I try to play her cello, and I tried, and I understood that you just can't make a sound of this instrument when you don't use this part of your hand. It is just impossible. And when you hear such a device play as if you played cello and you don't use this hand, it can't sound like a cello. So I find these things interesting. And the instrument as flute, hautboy, or clarinet, when saxophone, where you should use the breath, it is also interesting. I tried to play saxophone also very little, but I also understood that pianists we don't need to breath necessary. So of course we need to breath because we are wanting to live, but to make a phrase, a musical phrase, you just need to take a breath and then very naturally to give it. But you can just play this key and hear the sound. No, I can't hear now because my piano is broken. But you can do it. But with the breath, it sounds really more natural. And I'm sure that the people that are playing such instruments and saxophone, they just don't think that some musicians can play without breathing. And for pianists, it can be very useful. So maybe I will someday study another instrument. Okay, do you know Jenna Tools? No, I have no idea who is she. And I said about the pop culture that I'm not aware of very popular things, so I ask you not to be very astonished. You can tell me who is she, and I will, I don't know, hear some songs. What's that? How can I learn the position of the piano keys? Okay, I know it is a very common question for the beginners. It is the question of the Elmiron 766. I had the experience of private lessons, so I just know that this question is very common because people think that the piano has a lot of keys, white and black, and they are all the same. And sometimes I have such questions from my listeners. How can you remember by the heart what are you playing? And for me, this question sounds so funny because it isn't the difficultest thing to remember by heart. There are such things like to learn these jumps, for example, when you can't reach this key you play always the wrong key, and these things of coordination that one hand makes one thing and other another, and sometimes in Bach's music you have four voices, four linears of melody in one hand, and you should listen and to each one, and so it is not so difficult to remember it, and you should also you should just think that there are three black keys and two, and then again three and two. So actually you have only this section. This section is called octave, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a little here. So 7 octaves, and they are just the same. And then you learn the names of the notes, keys, and they are always the same. Okay. Genuine Heart, do you like Mozart, Lacrimosa, and what makes it with you when you listen to it? What do you feel? Yes, I love this piece, and by the way, I have 2 videos on my channel, one on the piano and one on the organ. It was this autumn, it was my hobby to play the organ, and I have made my arrangement. I personally find that on organ it sounds better as on the piano, because it was wrote for orchestra, and on the organ you can combine some register and it can sound more as if it were orchestra. You know, there are always such problems because piano is very universal instrument. You can really play everything here, and that's why maybe it is so popular among the instruments. So what I wanted to say, what do I feel? Of course, it is very, very sad piece, and it is the last piece of the Mozart, of Mozart. Really very, very last, because it is the last part of the Requiem. Maybe somebody didn't know, and the Requiem wasn't completed, and this part, the 7th part, was the last thing, the last music that Mozart wrote. So of course I understand that he felt maybe that it was the last piece, and he was, he was really very young. He was, I think, 37. When I'm mistaken, please write me. But he was really very, very young, and it was not the time to die. And so, and in general, I love the music of Mozart. I'm playing sometimes his sonatas and so on. And in that time, it was very uncommon thing to write something not in major, but in minor. You can see, for example, this fact that Mozart had 21 sonatas, and only 2 of them are written in minor, and 41 symphonies, and also only 2 of them are in minor. So it was just a time. I don't think that people weren't sad or they hadn't these bad emotions, like bad. You understood me, but they just the music was more entertainment, and the people didn't just want to hear some real emotions, some real thoughts in music. So when the companies of classical period wrote in minor, it was really very, very something that touched their heart, and very impressive. I can understand it. It is also to this thing that you should always remember what for a piece you are playing. I told about the old instruments that the tempos were just very another, not as today, and the instruments were other, and sometimes we are forgetting about it. And we also just have to remember that minor was a very strong symbol, not symbol, but very strong thing to show something. Because for us it is just major and minor, we are nothing strange, but for Mozart it was really very important. Okay, Jaybeck, I understand compositions vary greatly in complexity, but how long does it take for you to become fully comfortable playing a typical piece? Okay, I don't understand quite what do you mean under typical piece, but I can say a common thing for the all pieces that it is not so important how difficult the piece is. You are improving yourself, I'm improving myself, my technique, I mean, and you can be more or less comfortable in such places. You can maybe play not perfect, but the main thing is that you bring the idea to the public and then you feel yourself comfortable. But the thing I wanted to say is that you start to feel yourself comfortable when you play the piece for public. For the first time, you should be prepared that it is not going to be your best time, your best version of this composition. And earlier I didn't understand this simple thing, and it was the time I also mentioned in today. I don't know, maybe the people who listened to me in that time are not listening now, but I said that I studied in Moscow and Ukraine, and we just needed to play the certain program, and now I can choose here in Germany, I can choose what I want to play. And when you have just the strict plan what to play, you must play a lot of things, and you haven't got this possibility to practice, for example, the pieces that you have already played, because you should learn, practice another pieces, and there is really sometimes too little time. And now in Germany I tried to be on the stage more often, and I'm very glad that I started do it, because sometimes, of course, I spent a lot of time to have this program in my hands, as we say, and I understood that I could spend this time to learn some other pieces, but I wanted to learn how to play a program for 1 hour or more. And now I'm able to play my solo concert. I have not one solo concert with 2 parts alone, and it is the result of this year in Germany. I am studying in Germany for 1 year, and it is really my result, I think, the most important. And I noticed, as I played some pieces for 6, 8, 10 times, that it is really, it becomes more and more comfortable. You feel yourself comfortable, more and comfortable on the stage with the piece. Maybe it works just like psychologically a little, that you just say to yourself that, okay, we played this piece already 10 times, we have managed it already, it will be okay this time also. And so I can say that the main thing, you can practice some piece a lot of hours for yourself, but when you don't play it in public, it is just like stress of your self. I forgot in English. So how sure you feel yourself. It is just the steps, and you should play really not once when you want to play it good. So I'm very pleased for the good words words, Jose Montero. I'm very glad to see the new subscribers on my channels, and really, guys, I'm thankful to you. I understand that I'm making something good, that people like it, and so really, sincerely thank to you. Where are you from? I am from Ukraine. It was the question from TikTok, owner Victoria. Dasha, you are my inspiration. Arat Cervantes. I'm very pleased. Really, sometimes I read the comments that some people are starting to learn piano. Some people maybe played piano early in childhood, and they see my videos and they want to make it further to improve themselves, and I just have the thrills, the chills, I don't know any. So these goosebumps, do you know, that I can be the reason of such thoughts, and to be inspiration. And actually you are also inspiring me. I said it just now that I see how many people are subscribing and looking my videos, and I think, okay, I want to be more better for you. The question from the Elmeron 66. I also, I'm sorry, I also have to stop before I'm reading the numbers, because in German language they have the rule of spelling in the other order. So 66, they would spell 6 and 60, or 24, 4 and 20. And then I should remember which language I'm speaking, because actually I had a lot of problems. I'm living here a year, and the start of when I moved to Germany, I had such great problems. I couldn't just speak English because I had a lot of words in my head only in German, and it was terrible. My friends laughed because they knew that I could actually speak English, but it was just very difficult. But now maybe the single thing is with numbers that I stop. Okay, what music do you listen to on long trips or when you're feeling alone? Actually, I prefer not to listen music. I wanted just to explain that I'm a professional musician, and I listen a lot of music made by myself while I'm practicing. And I'm practicing 5 hours a day, minimal, maybe sometimes less when I have another things, but it is good to practice 5 times. So I mean, not just practicing, but having lessons, having concerts. Sometimes I visit some concerts just for my profession to analyze something, or the concerts of my friends or someone, so on. And I'm so surrounded by music. In my university also, you know, everyone is practicing that. I really like this silence. For example, I do sports in fitness studio, and I know that a lot of people around me are listening music, and it is more comfortable for them to do it with music, but I'm doing always in silence. I just want to feel my body, and when I'm having trips, I just prefer to look out of the window, or when I walk, I just feel that I'm alone, for example, and so I don't know what to answer to you. And for me, listening music is really more about profession. I listen a lot classical music. Also, when I'm playing, for example, some style, and I want to get more in it, and then I listen another pieces of this composer or so on. So, and another thing is that when it is about the classical pieces and you're visiting a concert, when you're a professional pianist, you just can't listen it and I don't know, just listen music. It is automatically so that your head begins to analyze what is happening. And when it is the pianist and he plays the piece that you played already, you know each note there, and you think, okay, how he makes this passage, how he plays here. It has he managed this very good, this place, or not very good, and I have another idea here. So it is just about profession, I think, not about me. Okay, Robert Monkey writes about my voice. Okay, I will think about it. Thanks for this tip. I just use the electronic voice not because I don't want to speak myself, just because I see a lot of videos which are made so, and I wanted to test it also to. You can generate different timbres and so on. Sometimes it can be entertaining also for me. Do you like the 16th century paintings, the word from Scruffy? Actually, I want to say that I am not. I don't know a lot about such paintings. I would be glad to learn something, but I think I really need a teacher or an advice which book I can read or which paintings I can see. So then I can maybe express my opinion. Okay, everybody loves this avocado. Okay, I love it myself. This avocado has an interesting story. I bought it for myself, so not a boyfriend. I just thought that I can buy something for myself also. And it was in Moscow. Then I moved to Germany, and it was because of the war in Ukraine, in my country, and it was difficult for me to stay in Moscow. So I moved, and it was just in 2 weeks, and I could take with me only little things, and I left this avocado there, and then I missed it so much. And then I asked my friend from Moscow to send it to me, and he made it. So now avocado is with me again. What do you usually do on your balcony, Nina Shipovska? Okay. I have a very beautiful view from there, so sometimes I just do nothing. I just go there, and I like observing the people I made it earlier from the window of the flat also, but from the balcony it is also better. And you can just go there and observe the people, what they are making, what they are doing. You can't hear what about they're speaking, but you can guess it. You can see their gests, and it can be really entertaining because you are there and they have no idea that you are observing, and not that I'm going to see some things that they don't want to show, but they are on the streets, so it is okay. Sometimes I do just this thing. Sometimes I take my chairs there, some chair and cup of tea, and just sit there and also think about the sense of their life. Epic background. I just joined the stream. Okay, I'm glad to see you here. And today, I'm playing the piano here, but today I'm not playing because my piano is broken. So I'm speaking, I'm answering questions. You can join, and I will answer your question also. Do you fly paper airplanes? No, I don't. I don't do this thing because in Germany, it is the other mentality. Of course, it is the foreign country, and some things I don't understand. Sometimes, for example, I do a lot of public videos now, and I have to speak with each person that sits there and to ask the permission for the video. And one day I wanted to make just a short video on of the concert in our university, and somebody in the room said to me that you can't do it. It is you have no permission. So sometimes I'm afraid that I do something and then the police comes to my flat and I will pay a lot of money for it. Okay. Have you ever you don't want to that I ignore, but I'm not ignoring you. I just have not enough time to read everything that you're writing. Have you ever seen information about Arabic countries? Please answer. Actually, not a lot. I love the Ptushkin. He's the blogger from the Ukraine. He's rather popular in YouTube, and he have made a lot of videos about different countries, and I saw some of his videos, and but I don't know actually a lot. I like to travel, and I said also today on my stream that each country is interesting for me. I would be glad to learn each culture. So. What time is on your city? Okay, we have 9:00 p.m. I wanna go to Holland and play here Stigmans. Okay, I thought about visiting a lot of countries in European Union, but at the moment I have no permission to leave the Germany. I don't have the document yet, so I can't even visit Ukraine. So I of course can't. I can of course visit Ukraine because it is my motherland. Motherland. It is German word. So my country. But I am afraid that I won't be able to come back, and I don't want to lose my place in the university and so on. So as soon as I have this document, I will travel and I will visit Holland. Also, I have some friends from there. So. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just reading to choose what to answer. Do you have information about the Iraqi music, Fatima Al Husseini? No, actually, I have no idea, and I know that classical education is. So we are learning, we are practicing the certain the certain composers, and we are not aware of the music of each country, and it is a shame of me, but I don't know a lot about Ukrainian music, although it is my country and I could learn more. So, no. I'm sorry, but no. What's your favorite piano song, actually? Mauche do not. I can't answer this question because I told today that I want to be a good professional, so I understand that I should learn different music, different styles. So it is really difficult question for me. Some people are asking it, and I don't know what to answer. But maybe you would be glad to see to hear that my favorite song is Rashi. Okay, my favorite song is Rashi, but you can't just play one song. It can be very beautiful, and you can like it, but you should play different things. Can you please play any Ludovico song? No, today I'm playing. I can't play anything because my piano is broken. And yes, Ludovico and Nadia. Before I started to make my videos on YouTube, I just didn't know about this composer. Can you imagine? So I said today that I'm not aware of some popular music. And Ludovica Einaudi, I think a lot of people know him, not the professional musicians. And for me, it was just a new name. And then I wanted to, of course, I'm making my videos and I'm looking at what is popular here and what are people liking. And I have discovered a lot of interesting things that I just didn't know earlier, and Einaudi was among them. And I said today also that sometimes I'm playing the concert and I have a lot of classical pieces, the 1 hour for example, and then I play Einaudi just for the end, just because actually his pieces are not so difficult. They can sound effectively, but they are not so difficult for the pianist that plays Liszt or Chopin or so on. And then the people are saying, yes, you were great, thank you, and the most beautiful piece was Einaudi, and I think, okay, what I'm doing here? Maybe I should learn only Einaudi. But it can also be, his music is very meditative, and it brings peace for me also while I'm playing his pieces. Because when you play Liszt, again, this example, you can't just feel this freedom and just I don't know, relax, just hear the music and so on, because you always should think about the technical difficulties and okay, I managed this, okay, here's coming another difficult place, okay, I managed it and so on. And now there is another kind of music, so I'm playing it on my streams. Please come next time. I hope that my piano will be okay and I will play a lot of Einaudi for you. You know, this kind of music I can also read from sheet music, so I don't need to learn it. So, another question. Don't worry about popular music, most of it garbage anyway. Shpringer. Okay, I think that something is really garbage. I must say that I also think this way sometimes, but it is about the pieces that I don't know, one piece of melody, 3 notes, and they you hear them 14 times, and then you think, okay, can we hear something else? And of course there are such things, such songs, and the words manchmal sometimes are strange and without sense. But there are also very good things of very high quality, just another style. And now I'm trying to learn more about the popular music. I want to be more modern and to know what is really what songs do people listen today, because classical music I know that for us musicians it is quite okay to play the music from 17th century, 18th and 19th, but of course I understand that this music is, don't know, 200 years old and it isn't quite modern, and our world changes, and we should be also aware of it. That's why I don't agree that all popular music is garbage. Okay, Karen Bell's ringing writes that it's good therapy for one's soul, play for animals, and let's see their reactions. They will love your playing if you can bring your sound with you. Yes, it is a good idea. You know, I saw a lot of videos with animals, and sometimes they are reacting really very strange. Some I saw, for example, one cat. It wasn't in internet. It was in my life, and the girl played flute, just little flute, and this cat began to also to view. How do you say it in English? The sound that cats are making, and it was really strange because she didn't. The cat, it didn't do it without music, and with music, yes. So sometimes the music can penetrate also the sounds of animals, and so it is. Do you want to see some videos with animals and not with people? You know, I'm making a lot of videos in this format with people that are reacting, and I'm playing in public now, and I can think about playing, for example, in the zoo. I can take my piano with me, and we can see how the tigers or the lions are reacting. Interesting idea. Did you saw how a man played for elephant? No, I didn't see. It is interesting. Most of all, I saw how the people played for the house animals, home animals, maybe, right? So cats, dogs, rats, and so on. But elephant? it is interesting. Your mic give sound is only left ear. Can you fix it? Actually, I don't know. Do you all hear only in left ear? Because I have only one mic. For the piano, I have usually two, not mics, but two cables, and then I have only one mic for my voice. So I have no idea, but I will try to fix it. Robert Monkey asks, have you ever tried experimenting with a loop pedal or loop station? I find they help when making more modern sound. Yes, I had actually this idea, and I saw some videos, and it is really great. You should also have ability to work in some programs to combine these pieces, and I don't know, I have no very much experience, and I know that you should buy the special type of keyboard. So in moment now I don't have, I have just this piano, so maybe in the future I will try to do it. Okay. Show us your YouTube crash. Yes, I can show it. So here is it. I didn't expect to have it in such a short time, because I said you that I've been making my videos only for a year and a half, but it came, and I'm really very glad and proud, and I'm thankful for you that we made this. I hope we will have also the gold one and the brilliant one, and I will hang them all together there on my wall. About the keyboard with loops, no, you can get a stand. Okay, I think I should read a little more information, because I really don't know about it. But I thought, you know, there are such type of videos when you make some sound. Maybe I can make with my cactus, or such clutching or something else, and then it will repeat it, and then you play a piece of melody and this piece of melody. So I'm not sure whether you mean this type of music, but I am speaking about this thing. So where will you go when you are allowed to leave Germany? At first, I will visit Ukraine, because I'm missing my family very much. I didn't see them for 2 years, and my mom came to visit me, but my brother and my dad, they are not allowed to leave Ukraine, you know, because of the war, and that's why the only possibility now to see them for me is to visit Ukraine. And I really want to go there, but the place here is also a place in university. I mean, it's really important for me. And I had the bad experience when I studied in Moscow, and I went for the coronavirus just for 3 months. We had this, so we didn't study, of course, as all of us, and I went to Ukraine, and then I couldn't come back, and I had to take a free year, and I was the only one that couldn't come back. So then it was not a bad year for me, but anyway, I have no plans now to have a free year, so I don't want to risk that thing. What's your favorite season? Okay. Different question. I don't know. I wanted to say that I love summer, but it is so hot now that I can't just say it. It was really very difficult today. But maybe I love summer because of these trips with my parents, hiking, and you can do it mostly in summers. That's why I like summer. Not because of the holidays, because as you remember, we pianists don't have holidays. I practice always in the summer. Also, I have never had the 2 months as in childhood when I went to school, and all kids, every kid had holidays. I didn't have. So just because of hiking, I think I love summer. Jim Bob F, thanks for my breathtaking beauty. I'm really very pleased. Yeah, in general, had piano united hearts, and the beautiful thing about piano music is that it is a pure music by nature. Okay, I am very pleased that you like my instrument. You know, I am also fond of it. That's why I'm playing for so many years, and I think that the reason, because it is one of the most popular instruments, is that it is really possible to play here, for example, orchestra things, and you can be very so you are able to play music alone, and it is completed. You know, when I have nothing against violin or cello or something else, but such instruments sound better together with piano, or not piano or orchestra, but together with something. Alone they sound too, I don't know, not so completed. Yeah. I think that's why piano is one of the most popularist instruments. But you know, the good thing is, of course, that it is very completed, and you can play every music piece on piano. Maybe it will not sound as an orchestra, but you can play it because you have a lot of keys, a lot of register, and you can combine it. You know, the cellos and violins, they have only one melody, and they can't play chords, for example. They can't play harmony, and that sounds so because the music needs harmony, and we pianists, we can play with left hand harmonies and hear melody, and that's why it can sound already good. So what I wanted to say, I forgot. So I wanted to say that the good thing is, of course, that it is just instrument for playing everything, but the bad thing is that we are having great concurrence and really a lot of people wanting to study piano. I studied in Moscow, and there were 36 pianists in my year, just in one university, and in Moscow there are 6 universities. And of course, when we finish our study, we all need to find a place to work, and you should really think about how to show yourself that that other people will think that you are better than others. And it is really difficult because a lot of people practicing piano madly, and they can do the technique places sometimes better than you, they can play faster than you, and so it is difficult. But I think that every person is of course has the personality and some things that belongs only to you, and the main thing to show them and not to think always about that I just want to be better than others. Okay, I'm reading some more comments. One moment. What country do I live? I'm living currently in Germany, in Stuttgart. It is the South Germany. And I can tell you the interesting story why I'm here in Stuttgart. So I told you that I came here because of the war. I studied in Moscow, and I learned already the German language. So I thought that maybe I end my bachelor in Moscow, and then I come to make my master, the next education degree in Germany, because in Germany they also have the great level of education for pianists. In general, in Europe, it is Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, the main countries. And I learned German language, but I was only my 3rd year, and I didn't thought yet about what teacher. We musicians, we can't just. So we can, of course, just enter the university, but it is better when we are coming a little earlier to the teacher, and we try to choose for ourselves the right teacher, because we have a lot of these lessons one-to-one, and it is very important that the teacher is that person for you, and he also or she wants to have you in the class. So in general, you should do a lot of preparation for entering the university in other country. And then the war started, and I hadn't time to do all these things, and I just knew that I know language and I can go to Germany, and I wrote some letters to German universities, and as I'm Ukrainian, they helping, and they helped then a lot Ukrainians, and so I thought that maybe I received some answer. And then I wrote in Berlin and München, and I don't know some other city. Then I thought, okay, which cities are there in Germany? In general, I didn't know which cities there are here. Then I asked my father, and my father is connected by the work with Germany, and he said Stuttgart, and he has some friends here. So that's why I'm here in Stuttgart. It is very accidentally. I wrote in Stuttgart, and I had the answer very quickly, and so I'm here. But now I'm glad that I'm here in South Germany, because it is already dark, but my view from the window, it is really very beautiful, and North Germany is not so beautiful as I heard. So I'm glad that I'm here. About the Moscow Conservatory, of course, it is very good level, and that's why so I ended my college in Dnipro in Ukraine, and then I wanted to study in Moscow, but I studied in Gnesin Academy. So of course we have the great school. I mean, Moscow has the great school and so on, but I had my personal reasons to leave Russian. That's why. But a lot of students after Moscow are really want to study here in Europe and in Germany. Where are you from originally? I'm from Ukraine. Then, okay. What instruments would you like to record those with? I know, you know, I thought about very unusual ensembles. I like them, but maybe, do you know the bass clarinet, just instrument that are really rare, and it can sound strange, unusual, but also interesting. But sometimes it is difficult to find people, so I will make maybe such usual duets with violin, maybe drums someday. I thought about drums, but I think the drums I would have choose not classical pieces. You can write me your ideas. Okay, guys, I will finish for today. I was so upset actually when I couldn't make my piano on, because I tried a lot of times, to reset it, and it just didn't work. But I'm really glad that we could speak today. You're great, and thank you for your questions. I'm glad of your interest to me, and I would be glad to tell maybe more things about myself. So have a nice evening. Who has an evening also, as I think we will meet on Thursday in one day, also here on YouTube and TikTok. And I hope that till Thursday I will make my instrument work again, and I will play also some music for you, so that you don't forget that I'm actually a pianist. But I can just have the piano in the picture, and we can just speak about the life when you want. I'm leaving you, Thank you once more. Bye bye.